Everyone, and welcome to the Virginia Cooperative Extension Plant Clinic. These plant clinics are sponsored by Virginia Cooperative Extension Program of Virginia's two land-grant universities, Virginia Tech and Virginia State University. Staffing our plant clinics are master gardeners from two organizations, the Fairfax County Master Gardeners and Green Spring Master Gardeners. Master gardeners share science-based information about gardening on horticultural topics. Hello, everyone. My name is Ann Mason, and I will be your moderator for today's activity. I am joined by Fairfax County Extension Master Gardeners, Nancy Miller, Catherine McCauley, and Amanda Jackson. So Nancy, at this time of year, many gardeners, like myself, are struggling with a weed from this family. Tell us more about this family of plants.
Well, it's a fun family to study. It's a very large family of plants. It includes herbs, shrubs, trees, and vines. It's not really native to America, but it has naturalized here. It came from Eurasia and Africa. There are 1,400 species, and nobody seems to know exactly what name each of them are, except for the main ones, of course. This slide shows the distribution right now in the United States. And this is not just one type of nightshade. So you can see it's pretty generally available. Let's go to slide 2. In addition to the poisonous weeds, the Solanum family includes such things as tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, and petunias. Plants in this family tend to be hairy or prickly, and they smell tomato-ish. Today, we are going to discuss the non-edible nightshade family. Next slide, please. Now, we're going to have a pop quiz. Can you identify these 3 fruits? When I was doing my research, I was amazed at the number of non-educational sites that were promoting the health benefits of several members of the Solanum family. This slide is to make you aware of how cautious you must be about what children, pets, livestock, and foraging parents should choose to eat in the wild. A misidentification can be toxic, if not deadly. On the far left are cherry tomatoes. In the middle is invasive horse nettle, which is extremely poisonous. And on the right is Solanum dulcamara, which can be poisonous. But you can see they've all got that upcurved green portion where the stem hits the fruit. That's what you should be looking for. Slide 4, please. Black nightshade, or Solanum nigrum, is part of one of the largest genera of flowering plants, It is a common herb or short-lived perennial found in wooded and disturbed areas. Its leaves are arranged alternately on the stem with smooth edges and a simple shape. You can see the leaves fairly clearly right there. Petioles are 1/2 to 1 inch long and are winged at the top. The flowers have 5 petals and are white or pale purple. The petals recurve as they age and are surrounded by prominent bright yellow anthers. So you can see the similarity of that and tomato flowers. Next slide, please. The berries are a dull black or purple black and grow singly. They are 1/4 to 1/3 inch in diameter. This is the main characteristic to differentiate this plant from the deadly belladonna plant, which has similar berries that grow in a cluster. This is toxic if eaten in large quantities, and the berries are very tempting because they're visible this time of year. Next slide, please. This is a comparison of the black nightshade on the left and its poisonous twin, belladonna. You can see how dull the berries on the left are and how shiny they are on the right. Solanum nigrum berries can be toxic to pets and children if they eat enough of them. but belladonna berries will be fatal. Next slide, please. Control of the black nightshade is fairly simple. This species is a prolific seed producer and can also reproduce from root nodes. Birds eat the berries and disperse the seed widely. Root systems can be extensive, up to 2 or 3 feet. Preventing fruit production is the most effective way to control this weed. Mulches will hamper the growth of new seedlings. Remove the entire plant by hand. Mowing frequently is critical for complete control, particularly prior to fruiting. For a biological control, there is a leaf-eating chrysomelid beetle, Leptonotarsa undecimilliniata, sorry, it's a mouthful, that may be host-specific and useful in controlling this weed, but research is ongoing, so I'm not sure that you can find it yet. The last resort to try is an herbicide specific to Solanum nigrum. Consult the VCE Pest Management Guide and repeat applications as suggested. Remember, the law requires the purchaser to follow the printed instructions on the herbicide. Next slide, please. Bittersweet Nightshade, or Solanum dulcamara, was brought from Europe for either ornamental or medicinal purposes. By the 1800s, it was widespread in the United States. It is a trailing or climbing perennial woody vine that can grow up to 10 feet long. All parts of this plant are toxic. Common names are climbing nightshade, woody nightshade, and European bittersweet. Next slide, please. Leaves are 2 to 4 inches long, hairless, simple, and alternate on the stem. They are ovate, dark green above, and lighter green beneath. They have an unpleasant odor when bruised. Stems are purplish, fairly stiff, hollow, and likewise smell unpleasant. Flowers appear in the summer as hanging clusters of bright purple or sometimes white petals with yellow anthers. They give way to hanging clusters of bright red berries that ripen in autumn. The berries are oval, 3/8 to 1/2 inch long, and contain numerous seeds. These weeds are also spread by rhizomes just below the soil surface that resprout readily. There is some evidence that this plant may inhibit some aspects of the red pine, Pinus resinosa, growth. Solanum dulcamara will grow in full sun or deep shade. Next slide, please. There is a similar species known as Eastern Black Nightshade, Solum pitacanthum, excuse me, which is this picture in the center. That is an annual with an upright growth habit, wavy leaf margins, and black berries. It is a common weed in this area, and I know that I'm intimately familiar with this one. Also pictured are hairy nightshade on the left and cutleaf nightshade on the right. Next slide, please. This plant is also spread by birds and white-tailed deer. Use gloves when handling the plant. They can be pulled, dug out, or cut back. Repeated mowing will be necessary. Consult the VCE Pest Management Guide for the appropriate herbicide and apply according to directions. If you would like more information about the nightshade, here are some resources. And the biggest point, I think, to be learned is that you have to be sure of your identification. Some of these plants are not toxic if the berries are ripe, but nothing has said how you know the berries are ripe. Other of these family of plants are not poison if they're cooked, but you have to know that you're identifying the correct plant. So please be very careful with these if you're going to eat from the wild. Do we have any questions? Whoa, that's nice leaf litter.
No questions have come in through the chat box.
Thank you, Nancy. That was terrific. I know that it's really important to get the message about the nightshade berries out to young people. I know that there are circumstances where young people eat the berries at this time of year and are raced to the hospital because of their toxic effects. Unfortunately, there was a couple of incidents where young people passed away from eating these. So it's really important that those of us who are gardeners make sure that we control these weeds in our garden. And that also, if we've got scout troops and other educational opportunities, that we pass on the important messages that you shared with us today, Nancy. So thank you
Couldn't
very
agree
much.
more. You're welcome.